Here at Three Sisters at the British Minibikes, it's time for the Pitbike Racing Minibike 160 and Vets race. And when we say vets, we're not talking about the ones that look after the fluffy, cuddly animals. We're talking about the veterans who know these bikes and these circuits like the back gardens they will practice in. It is a fabulous battle we're going to see between Jack Bednarek and Michael Med. They will share the front row of the starting grid. Jack Bednarek, of course, on the 160, and then Michael Med is the minibike right behind him, the pit bike onto the side there, the Rd7. Dean Kinsey and Nectarios Katakis are going to be the men on the second row of the starting grid to try and challenge them. Let's go through the starting grid positions in full. Jack Bednarek and Michael Med, and then Dean Kinsey and Nectarios Katakis from Max McRae and Robert Med, Dave Cook, Philip Lawson, Mark Sugden and Peter Nelson. 11th on the grid is going to be Tony Reveley, ahead of Barry Clark, and then Ryan Garrick will be 13th on the grid. Let's get us under starters orders, the yellow flag at the back of the grid, and we can go racing. Who's going to get there first to the first turn? Will it be Bednarek or Med? Off we go, and the riders will get their way to Paddock Bend, and it is going to be the Rd7 that gets there first. Michael Med has got the launch on Jack Bednarek as the riders work their way through to the Valley hairpin for the first time. Looks like our timing screen is having a little bit of a hiccup at the moment. The greasy, wet conditions obviously affecting the timing screen as well as the riders. And they come up over the top of the valley, in through the left, right at the S's. And Michael Med has absolutely nailed this launch. Look at it. Not only has he nailed the start, but he's getting away up front. It looks as though Dean Kinsey is going to be pushing hard to make the bid to get past Jack Bednarek as they work their way forward. This is terrific stuff already from Michael Med, though. Look at it. He's absolutely disappearing up front.
Yeah, the timing screen on the left, not quite playing ball. I think Michael Med has got the transponder number in first place. It just says TX and the number. That's probably his transponder number. And the timing screen doesn't know it's actually him.
Mind you, that's probably how many miles he's done on this pit bike in the past, because he's definitely got a blend of the experience. What a wobble! That's a big one from Max McRae. I tell you what, that was brave to get into second place. Max McRae, that was a bit like balancing on the top of a chandelier trying to get that thing stopped on the way to the hairpin. He was wobbling and twitching like a drunkard at a party, and he manages to hold it together there in second place. That was very tight stuff, and it's Dean Kinsey who's trying to get through up on the inside into second place. He gets a lovely roll off the power and manages to move up into second position. But Max McRae, twitchy as you like, but he's still there in the top three. And now that he knows he can get to second position, he'll want to return to it as swiftly as possible. Dave Cook currently in fourth position, as rather sadly Jack Bednarek is hemorrhaging positions and time as this man out in front, the Rd7, Michael Med, is just loving life in the lead. Down to fifth position now is the pole sitter Jack Bednarek, and so it's Robert Med that finds himself in sixth position ahead of Reveley, Lawson, Sugden and Nectarios Katakis, ahead of Nelson, Clark and Ryan Garrick. So they come up over to the top of Penrith Climb, and still Max McRae and Dean Kinsey having a very close battle. McRae back into second then. So he has managed to get back through on Dean Kinsey. So they will go through the hairpin at Dunlop, back onto the school straight. This is a bit of a challenge coming forward to fifth position. Is that the move then from Robert Med? It is indeed. So Robert Med actually now gets through past Jack Bednarek to get into fifth position. And I don't think he's the only one challenging for the move, because that looks to me like Mark Sugden trying to get through as well. Philip Lawson is going to make his bid first. So Lawson is working hard here to try and get through on the inside of the 19 of Jack Bednarek. But he's held his nerve for the time being. So Lawson and Sugden have to go back to the drawing board. And the 164 behind of Tony Reveley is making his own designs on moving forward. Then Nectarios Katakis on the 588. The treble 8 is Peter Nelson, and Barry Clark and Ryan Garrick. Now, Michael Med has finally had his name changed from TX treble 1483 to his actual name. Diving through to the inside, that is Philip Lawson again trying to take on Bednarek, who is not transponding at all. So Jack Bednarek is there, but he's lost out to Lawson, and up the top of the climb, I don't think it's just going to be Lawson that gets through. Yeah, look, Sugden has got through as well. So Lawson's ahead, Sugden's ahead, and diving up, Tony Reveley is going to get through as well. There's big problems here for Jack Bednarek. He's clearly got some kind of mechanical problem with the bike, as he is just dropping time all the way. As Peter Nelson, by the way, Peter Nelson has got through on Nectarios Katakis. They work their way to the Valley hairpin once again. Med is your leader, McRae second, Kinsey third. Whoops! A little bit of a drift there from Philip Lawson. He almost found the grass. So there is Max McRae in second, third is Dean Kinsey, and it's Dave Cook. position for the 78. Fourth position for the 78, I should say. Then it's Robert Med. Still seeing the 164 Tony Reveley in front of Bednarek. Then it is Peter Nelson, Victorious Katakis, Harry Clark and Ryan Garrett. All 13 riders still in the race. Don't quite pay attention to the timing screen as concrete because it's missing one of them, and that is Jack Bednarek, who is currently now down in 8th position behind Philip Lawson and Mark Sugden. He was our pole sitter. Coming up the top of the climb, is that going to be a move for 4th position? It is indeed. That is Dave Cook being hustled here, and up the inside that comes Philip Lawson. Philip Lawson diving through. So Philip Lawson has really shuffled the deck there. Across the line comes Dean Kinsey. It is now Philip Lawson that's in 4th, ahead of Med, Sugden, Cook, Bednarek and Tony Reveley. No, actually Reveley's got through past Bednarek as well. So I think Bednarek's got a major problem now. As poor Jack Bednarek has dropped all the way to 9th position. So this is very difficult. Only Nelson, Katakis, Clark and Garrick haven't gone through. It just looks as though that's inevitable for poor Jack Bednarek, who is still trying his best. And the bike is just not playing ball. Here it is. He's going to be very disappointed with this. The next rider to take him on is going to be Peter Nelson. Then this man, Nectarius Katakis, and Barry Clark is in the background. Max McRae seems to have settled down now into a bit of a rhythm in 2nd. And Kinsey, Lawson, Med, Sugden. Here comes the move up the inside from Mark Sugden. He'll try and take on Robert Med. Beautiful on the run into Pendrith Climb. It's very nicely handled, and as they go up over the top of the crest, they will sail the bike into this long sweeping apex out of Coward Summit. Big dive up the inside, that'll do from Tony Reveley. That's a lovely overtake into Dunlop. He really does make that one look like child's play. Excellent overtake. We continue on. So the Vets and Minibike 160s having a truly sensational duel of it. And of course, these are the guys that will have a little bit more confidence in these slipperier conditions. It'll be a little bit greasy in places, yes. But these are the riders that will know when you twist the throttle, squeeze the brake, and lean that angle in, you know what the bike is going to give you back, even in slightly unpredictable conditions. These are the riders that will have done mile after mile after mile. Robert Med trying again to get back through on Tony Reveley to get back into that top 6. There is the treble 8 of Peter Nelson, having checked out well away now from Nectarios Katakis. And it's Michael Med who has completely taken control of this race and has drifted 8 seconds up the road now from Max McRae. This is a true domination from Michael Med, right from that front row of the grid. So they come off the top of the climb. McRae and Kinsey, then Lawson, Sugden, Reveley, and Robert Med. That's your top 7. Dave Cook is still there or thereabouts. Peter Nelson being caught by Katakis. Well, what's the state of play for our pole sitter Jack Bednarek? Well, there he is behind Dave Cook. So Bednarek is actually running in 9th position. He's not on the timing monitor to your left. He certainly should be, because he was our pole sitter. He's not transponding. He finds himself in 9th position behind Dave Cook and ahead of Peter Nelson. Still the riders come through, looking for a very solid race. Tell you what, Dean Kinsey is actually starting to hustle Max McRae again. So I think the battle for 2nd place could be on any moment now, and it looks as though finally Jack Bednarek has got a little bit of confidence. The bike, and over goes Philip Lawson. Lawson just goes a proper high side. So easily done, and that's on Luna Bend, which is going to be a very tricky part of the course to go, and that almost catches out Nelson. Here's the replay. Just gets on the wet patch, boom, the back end leans over, and he is thrown at Luna Bend. That is such a tough corner to lose out, and the red flag has gone out, we are told. So the red flags are out on the circuit. There you go, you can see the confirmation for yourself. So the race is going to be declared at that point. So Michael Med is going to be your race winner in front of Max McRae and Dean Kinsey. Now Philip Lawson, who was in 4th position, he will go back a lap, so he will be able to keep that position in front of Mark Sugden and Tony Reveley. So a bit of a headache for Philip Lawson, but at least he gets to retain his 4th position. But Michael Med, the dominant force out front, he wraps it up.